Mm-hmm. I mean, Talman isn't a diviner, so he's just running off of whatever information he can get his hands on. He might be wrong.
Yeah.
In fact, he doesn't know everything because he hasn't been able to tell you the answers to everything. So, when we last left off, you guys were arriving at a city. In particular, the city of High East.
Mhm.
And it was only about halfway through the day because you guys stopped before traveling for the final stretch.
Yeah.
So it is around noontime. And approaching the city, you see there is a very long line of carriages.
Ooh.
I guess carts.
Oh no, even worse.
Yeah. They're not carrying people, they're carrying cargo.
Oh my god. Mitchell doesn't even think people are people, he just thinks they're cargo.
They're not doing slave nation yet.
Classic Mitchell.
My god.
That's why we call him. Never mind.
That's why we call him slave owner Mitchell.
We do call him that.
Everyone calls him that.
I shouldn't. I got rid of that a while ago.
Oh.
So, yeah. I mean, you guys just gonna stand in line, try and slip
Oh
your
yeah,
way
we'll stand in
towards?
line.
Mm.
If it looks like they're getting like screened in the like.
I mean, you can't see the front. The carriages run back for a good 100 or so. So the figures at the front are basically just little dolls. You can't really tell what's going on.
Mm. You wait here for 1 minute, and I'm going to start heading up to see if there's a separate line for people, or if it's just one big line.
There's a separate line for people. This line is not for people.
Well, yeah, if there's a line for carts and a line for people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally what I said.
So you walk towards the thing and do indeed see that there is a significantly shorter line of people that are just kind of walking through. They have it set up so that it's like the left side is for carts and then the right side is more for just foot traffic.
All right. Wave the rest of the party forward.
I will go.
Yeah.
This is like voting day.
You guys make it up to the gate without issue. Seeing all manner of different merchants and whatnot, along with just farmers bringing their crops in, or most likely the produce of their livestock.
Mm.
And they have a single guard who just kind of is standing there. And the group ahead of you is paused so that you can take a peek at him. And you hear the fairly standard questions. Why are you here? What are your names? Etc., etc. And after a minute or so, as they all give said information, he waves them onward, and it is your turn to do the same.
Walk, walk, walk.
I mean, do you guys answer him honestly or just kind of move on?
Yes.
I would answer honestly.
All right. Then you are now in the city of Haisk.
I'm starting to the docks. That's what I'm doing, at least.
All right. So, the docks, since you came in the... I'm trying to think what direction you guys would have come from, because you were traveling east, kind of northeast to a certain extent. So I guess it would be a gate on the southwest or so. So the docks are on the opposite side of the city from the gate, but there is a nice, big, long, wide street that leads straight to them.
Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Welcome back.
I missed
So-
exactly everything that happened.
You answered questions and are now in the city, headed to the docks,
Nice.
or at least Gebe is.
Yeah, I mean, that seems the most logical place to go. We're in a rush here. If we don't kill Cook before sundown on the 11th day, the world will blow up.
Yeah, if I don't personally strangle Cook to death with my bare hands,
Yeah,
are we
if
even
he
really
died-
doing it?
If he dies from someone else, the world still ends.
So, yeah, you guys make it to the docks without issue.
Start looking around to book Bishop.
Yep.
Book passage.
There are a number of ships currently docked, about, on a rough count, 7 or so. The number of passengers or people discussing things by the ships, however, seems to be just a single person. They do have a small office that seems to be more, well, significantly busier than the docks themselves.
Well, it makes sense for us to. I think it makes more sense for us to go to the offices because that is probably where we're going to have to actually
I mean-
fucking book passage.
There's a lot of us. If you want to go look around the docks, I can just wait for the office.
I mean, I've already booked passage from the colony to here, so
Yeah,
I won't do it again.
Yeah. By the way, just from to give a rough estimate, you know from, well, you don't know, but you're pretty sure based on how long it took you to get here the first time, it's going to take about 2 months or so. A faster ship could get you there a little quicker, and of course a slower one could get you there a little slower, especially depending on navigation and whatnot. But around 2 months is the average length.
Well,
So,
if you have
As
slower
you-
ship and we get a faster ship, we might actually be able to outrun them.
yeah. So, well, where are our 2 quiet people? Is Jahnni going with Cuvée? And what about Mo? Or are you guys waiting for the line to kind of crunch down a little bit with Oyeko?
Well, I'm a man of the
line
people.
is, the line is the one person that seems to be taking, like...
No, it's like a little office.
Okay.
They have like a little. It's not that small a building, I suppose. It's big and not a warehouse, but it's bigger than a hovel. And they have a big wooden board set up on the left side of the door with a whole smattering of papers, along with, or I guess parchment. I don't use paper for that sort of thing. And a smallish group. I mean, it's probably just at a look about 3 merchants and then all of their kind of, people carrying stuff, the porters and whatnot. So it's a fairly large group of 12, 15 or so individuals. Plus, of course, the person at the office that seems to be loudly discussing terms with the 3 of them as they're all arguing back and forth over passage and whatnot, trying to get the lowest cost, you'd assume.
Remind me, what's his face is already left, right? Or is he
As
just...
far as you guys know, yes. He had a week or so head start on you guys, so at least a week. So Oyeko is waiting in line. Gouvet is going to check out the docks. Is Lumpy muted? And where is Mo?
Mo is probably also waiting in line.
You can't hear me?
Now we can.
And now.
Oh, I was just saying I'm a man of the people and I will wait with the people in line.
Alright.
This is my
Well. While the line line. While the group is waiting for the merchants to get over themselves, Guve, where are you headed? As other than a single captain and of course her men, there really isn't anyone like watching their ships or anything.
Oh,
Well,
we could
actually-
steal one.
I actually was headed to the line, but I'll go talk to the captain, I guess.
Oh. I mean, you guys can all just wait in line. You guys
Well,
can
yeah.
see the captain. She's the only one there.
I'm already in this deep. I'm going to the captain now. Things have changed, I guess.
Got to be the
We
best
must
time
change
ever.
with them.
Yep.
I don't
She
think there's
has sun-bronzed skin, long red hair tied up in still a ponytail, even if it's very long. And of course, the tricorn hat of a captain. And a rapier, but as
Tricorn
should
horn.
be assumed, the captain on a ship in these waters is going to require some sort of weapon. It's not Arathian waters where basically no one goes.
Fuck Arathian waters.
So
We hate Arathia.
currently she's just kind of watching her men walk up and down the gangplank carrying things. She just kind of nods in your direction as you get closer.
Where's the ship headed?
Well, currently it's headed over to the colony. We don't really have anywhere else to go.
Mm.
I'm not sure exactly what city we're putting port in, but it'll happen at some point.
Mm.
She just
So,
kind of gestures with the tip of her head towards the trio of merchants by this kind of command area, the docking area. Trying to decide which of those three is going to come on board.
Well, if you does the ship appear to be like relatively nippy?
I mean, it's not a humongous ship, but at least by your approximation of how ships are, it looks pretty fast. It's got a couple of sail. Well, it's got more than one sail at the very least.
Woo! Multiple ships. That means it's got to be faster. I will ask her the relative speed of her ship.
It's pretty fast. I know there's a couple on these seas that are faster, but the Storm's Chaser isn't too bad.
Alright.
I've been able to catch up with storm turtles before.
Does that mean anything to me?
A little. You at least have heard the term. From what you know of them, they are massive aquatic turtles that act as islands and ships to certain people.
Yeah, it's pretty
Mostly
sick.
omniscients.
Alright.
They
Well,
are
if you,
exceedingly rare and a little fickle at times, from what you've heard.
If you happen to be putting in your Concord, me and my companions would be willing to pay a sum to travel with you on your boat.
It's possible. How much are you willing to pay for boarding?
How much? So it was normally like 15, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like this could be a pretty good chance to catch up. I'll throw out 20 each.
She nods. That isn't bad. But unfortunately, I can't quite accept you until I figure out whether or not I have the space or not. The hold
Fair
might be full of, well, goods. And if I have goods, can't take passengers.
Mm.
Give them a few hours to sort themselves out. If the one with the least comes on board, then I can definitely take you. I think there's a couple of other captains. I'm almost certain that Captain Carlisle is taking passengers now. I think he's headed the same place I am. At least, same direction. You know, if you're willing to risk it.
Raise an eyebrow, willing to risk it.
Well, he doesn't have the best reputation.
In what way?
It kind of
Because-
leans towards you a little bit and lowers her voice. But definitely the couple of crewmen standing nearby kind of pause a step or two. It said he's got some connections with some omniscients, raiders and whatnot.
Mm,
No one knows for sure, but no one also comes back from his ships all the time. She straightens.
I'm just gonna insight her just in case she's feeding me some bullshit.
All right, go ahead. I mean, the 13's not bad. You don't know for certain, but she seems to be at least giving you the information she knows.
Alright.
Whether or not it's true or not is, as much as she knows.
Would you be willing to, or able to, point where Captain Carlisle is?
She points at a big tri-mast ship, kind of at the other end of the dock. Storm's Wake's that way. You should be nearby it.
And just for interest's sake, how fast would that thing be compared to yours?
She just kind of gives you a little bit of a hurt look. It's a little faster than mine, but that's what it is when you have quite as much speed as that.
Alright, I'll start heading off towards that.
All right. In the
However,
meantime,
I will stop and actually first travel to the rest of the party to at
Mhm.
least inform them of the possible passage.
yep. The rest of the party is still standing nearby the merchants who are still furiously arguing. The dock worker who's currently manning the situation does not look like he's giving much more of a damn and is rapidly losing patience. So you probably won't have to wait for that much longer.
Hell yeah.
Oh, hey, welcome back.
Thank you. So we can book passage on that one right there for 20 each. But we can only book passage if the merchant who decides to travel with them is not carrying so much cargo to where we cannot get on. Or another option is we can go book passage with Captain Carlisle, who's down over there, who may or may not be connected with raiders.
Oh. Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Who's faster?
Carlisle.
Oh, of course he is.
But if we get to our destination dead, speed's only so helpful.
I don't really like the idea of traveling with someone that's perfectly okay with raiders. I don't know how I feel about that.
Side eye at Jahnni.
What?
Raiders are scum.
Raiders are scum.
Feeling.
But if you're finding passage that easy, why am I even waiting in this line?
Well, I mean, depending on which three of those merchants gets passage or gets their shitload onto that ship, that is not a viable option for passage.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if someone was to try and convince the dock worker, fucking our guy's case, I guess. But otherwise, there's not really anything we can do in this scenario.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we could also like threaten the other
We're
two
not
merchants off.
threatening anyone.
I didn't say we were going to. I said we could.
Yeah, but if you put the idea in Johnny's head, he'll do it.
Jahnni was already thinking it. We all know it.
I don't know if he can think that far ahead.
He can. How
As
else
you
would he
guys are
plan out all his
talking-
dastardly heroic deeds?
The dock worker finally loses his patience and yells, "Malak, take you! Come back later while I have some extra time. I've other customers to deal with, not just you three. No, shoot." Merchants grumble, but wander off, still arguing amongst the three. And he waves your group forward.
Hello.
Yes, hello. What can I do for you?
We're trying to book passage to the colony.
All right. I have currently 2 ships headed out that way. He points down towards the ship you recognize as Carlisle's. Storm's Wake, and of course its captain, Carlisle, is headed out there in, well, I believe later today, if you're willing to do it. And he points at another ship that has 2 masts and it seems to be a little bigger in general. And we also have the Moon's Guide, captained by Parlock.
What could you tell me about the 2 ships?
Well, Storm's Wake has a good reputation. Makes it back to dock, well, relatively intact. Hasn't been scraped up too bad for quite a long time, as far as I remember. Carlisle has, well, apparently he has has a reputation for not always keeping his passengers safe, but his ship is fast. So, you take what you get. Parlock is, well, he's a nice guy. Ship's a little bit on the slower side, as you can probably tell, but I can guarantee you that he will get you to your destination no matter what. He gives a very large damn about his passengers. From what I've heard, he's best by Parlock itself. Or Parlock. He has a good track record of getting passengers where they need to be, at least in due time.
I see. I'll look at everyone else. What do you guys think?
I think that we want to move fast, and we've taken risks every step of the way to this point, so...
Okay, so your vote for Carlisle. What about you, Jahnni?
Sure.
That's not an answer. I asked which one you... Would you
Who's
rather go
Carlisle?
with Carlisle or Parlock?
I'm sorry, which one's which?
Carlisle, you might have a chance to bring justice to some raiders along the way.
Well, I'm all in favor of that, so all else being equal, Carlisle.
Okay, and oh wow, Mo is... the
Stack
lights are
that
not
boat.
on- The lights are not on upstairs right now for Mo. Just drooling. Well, personally, I think
His eyes are all pugged out.
Parlock sounds like a much better person, but if we really are worried about time, then I guess we don't really have a choice.
Well, I mean, I'd be happy going either way, but we are under somewhat of a time crunch, and we're heroes. We're not going to have the world end on our account.
Don't mind him. He's got delusions of grandeur. I'd say that to the dock worker, by the way.
The world is ending, citizen.
It's not.
Not necessarily.
You're not helping, Coupe.
I mean,
Yeah. The dock worker just kind of waves you off and just nods in the direction of the trio of merchants.
first,
Don't worry, I've dealt with plenty who have delusions of grandeur,
I guess
or at
that's
least
true.
delusions of being much more important to the world than they think they are.
oh yes, speaking of those merchants reminded me. We heard that I never asked the captain her name, did I? Fuck.
Nope.
Uh,
You got the
yeah.
ship name.
Yeah, but I
And you can
instantly
point.
forgot
She's
it.
visible to the dock from the dock. So or
What
from
was
the
the ship's name again?
Storm Chaser.
We heard the storm, or I heard that the Storm Chaser is going to be going to the colony as well relatively soon.
He nods. I believe Captain Redtail is, though she is more of a cargo vessel. It's not exactly pleasant ride. You'll be sleeping with the crew, or possibly being the crew, depending on how much you're willing to hand over. She's reliable enough. A little bit of a
Give me 1 second.
spitfire, but fine.
Well, the thing is, whether or not we're going to be able to book passage on that ship is entirely dependent on which of those merchants is also booking passage. So say we grease the wheels.
Well, how much grease are you willing to use?
Are we cooking the
Mm.
wheels?
Are you dull?
What is
don't.
non-culinary grease?
I'm back.
Welcome
Well,
back. I'm apparently trying to bribe him.
Here on the docks, you use it to actually just keep the water out. But I know that other people use it to build barrels, make wheels continue rolling, as that phrase goes, etc., etc.
We got 30 pieces of this nice shiny yellow grease that'd be one to use.
Regardless, I'm not exactly, well, you were nearby, not exactly all that happy with those damnable merchants. Well, I could take them, but I can't exactly turn them away.
Hmm.
No, I mean, we're not going to make you do anything that you're not able to do, of course.
Can you not choose which
No.
one is allowed to book passage?
Gouvet,
No, exactly. That's my exact job on the docks. I'm the one who chooses who goes where. I guess,
But-
to a certain extent, the captain still has to agree.
here's
I
the
will
thing,
offer him 30
Gouvet.
gold pieces.
Gouvet.
Yeah?
Don't try to make the dock worker do stuff based around us. We have 2 options we can choose from. Let's just pick one of those.
Well, no, this is the third option.
But you're literally trying to bribe the man
Yes, this is correct.
directly in front of me.
It's a dock. What do you think happens all day?
That doesn't mean I have to
He
take
has a
part in
point.
it.
The docks have a tendency to require a little extra funding now and then from concerned citizens.
I've been on docks
Or
once before,
travelers.
and I saw 12 separate bribes.
That's great. That doesn't mean I have to take part in it.
I mean, you aren't. I am.
Bribery is
I'm
not
with you.
heroic.
I'm agreeing with Jahnni. That's scary.
Bribery
That
can be
shows that you're
heroic.
wrong.
Does it? Because agreeing with
Opposite-
Johnny, I would argue, shows that you're wrong,
No. With both
given
opposite
his
sides
prior agreements.
agreeing. Listen, I don't like Parlock, but sorry, not Parlock. Parlock's great. I don't like Carlisle, but he's fast, right? Like we can just go there and hopefully not die.
Yeah, I'm trying to get us a way that is fast, and we don't have to hope we don't die.
Yeah, but you're
Sorry, that's actually his name. I misspelled it.
Yeah, but you're debasing yourself with bribery in the meantime.
Debate what? Johnny,
You
I'm
heard
going to be honest. I don't really care about any of your opinions.
this is very much so shifty. No offense.
Yeah, it's a dock.
It's not what a hero would do. And I am not on board.
A hero would
You see,
100%
or
use a
the-
bribe to get somewhere safer.
Not if we had other options.
Well,
get-
We have perfectly good non-bribe related
Here,
options.
I have a question for you, Gouvet.
Swimming is always an option.
Swimming is not an option. Is
yes, the dock
Carlisle's
worker
ship-
nods. Don't try and swim that.
Is Carlisle's ship faster or slower than this third person, Captain Redtails?
Be right back again. Jesus Christ.
Slightly faster.
So if it's faster, then I mean, and we're worried about time, why we just take that? How much does it cost to book travel on Carlisle's ship?
Well, like most ship captains, he has a couple of rates. Are you willing to work on it, or
Of
do you just
course.
want passage?
I'm perfectly happy to work.
If you're willing to work on it, then it's a copper per mile, which in total we're going to just round off to a nice even 5 gold pieces for the trip.
No, that's not bad.
I mean, technically it's closer to about 5 gold pieces and a handful of copper and whatnot, but I can waive that. You seem like nicer folks.
That's very kind of you.
That, and I'm not exactly a humongous fan of Carlisle, so I don't feel so bad.
Well,
Well, if any of the rumors are true, probably not either.
I don't
No, but
especially give a
true.
damn.
True. I'll be stabbed death in my sleep.
You
And
just
I'll
don't like
haunt
the
the
guy.
Carlisle could be a pirate captain for all I know. All I know is he's an asshole. He makes my job hard, but he does his freaking job well enough to not get thrown off the dock every time he shows up.
Well, we might take this under investigation as well.
What?
I might.
What are you investigating?
Carlisle.
I wouldn't suggest investigating while you're on his ship. That's a
That's-
good way to find yourself thrown into the ocean, and you won't make it back to land if he thinks about it for too hard.
Fair enough.
And that's
We could-
assuming
we
you
could-
don't get eaten by a monster.
We could pass word off to the proper authorities.
I have a feeling that it's probably already happened.
Just kind of looks around. Like, who exactly?
Jahnni is one for planning.
If he is a pirate captain, you can probably ask someone back at Thaltis for it. They hate raiders, but Thaltis seems to hate everyone, so it is what it is. As for us, well, he does business. We get raided, but everyone gets raided. Seems to be a fact of life here. So, who am I giving you the token of?
What'll it be, guys?
I was so for the bribe.
I'm not.
so
I'm
what
Yeah.
would
starting.
be getting us?
I'm starting to lean away from Carlisle, if I'm honest. I don't like the
So
idea
the
of.
bribe would
Message on the
be
third option.
yeah. Bribe opens up the third option, which is slightly slower than Carlisle, but also much safer.
I see.
Mhm.
And what about Parlock? What's his rates?
It would be a little cheaper. If you're willing to work on his ship, if he allows you to do so, it would be about 3 gold for that, and about 12 for full passage.
I would
And if you're
happily.
willing, you can splurge for about 30 or so gold pieces for full passage.
I would be more than happy to work my share. And
Yeah,
I'm growing less enchanted with financially aiding suspected raiders.
Well, no, we're talking about Parlock. He's not a suspected raider.
Indeed. I'm simply I'm clarifying why my vote is shifted away from Carlisle.
How much slower would you say Parlock's ship is?
If I had to give you a timetable, couple weeks, maybe a month at most.
Oh, jeez.
We are already behind. This is not time to get farther behind.
It's not. My good man is surely not saying a month longer than Carlisle. He's saying
Oh,
we
indeed.
get there.
That's exactly what
No,
I'm
he
saying.
is. It's a 2-month travel.
Yeah, roughly. Could knock a few days on and off, depending on, well, getting attacked, storms, wind currents, etc.
Yeah, I'm just speaking average.
But about 2 months is about right.
And how much slower is Captain Redtails
Mm,
than Carlisle?
I would wager about a week, maybe.
That's still pretty significant.
As I said, I love the man, but Barlock is not the best of the of navigation's captains out there. He gets the job done, but he is slow. Safe, but slow.
Hmm.
So if we're really crunched in time and already behind, I mean, I feel like even though it's detestable and horrible, and I don't like Carlisle one bit, it seems like it is the fastest way to get us there by a significant margin.
I find myself agreeing with Ayako on every front.
Oh God.
Feels
I'll be
good, doesn't it?
honest. Carlisle is a jerk. He's an asshole when he comes in, but It is mostly rumor. Rumors don't necessarily mean that he's actually a raider or pirate.
Yeah, when there's smoke, there's usually fire.
Not always.
Not always.
Hence why I said usually.
I'm also not saying he's not those things, but you'll have to make your own decision on it. I can't force either emblem into your hand,
Well, I vote Carlisle.
especially not with coin. Without coin.
Sure, fucking Carlisle.
Against my better judgment.
How much is it if you are not working?
For him, should be about 15 or so gold pieces.
All right.
I second Oyeko's vote. I think all things considered, it is the best choice.
Go on, Carlisle, then.
I'll hand 5 gold. I will be working.
I as
I'm
well.
having fucking vacation.
So just say if you're working or not, and then take off the proper gold pieces.
Yep, I took off 5.
Mhm.
We never work.
Mo is physically incapable of seamanship.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
thought you
Mo
were
isn't
going to
really
English speak,
built.
and I was going to be very confused.
Oh, is physically incapable of semen. We're like, all right, but are you working?
I mean, yeah, that's correct by definition. You are Mo is a woman, but what about the work?
Would have been
Sea
more
travel,
shocking is if Mo is not
navigation
capable
takes
of semen. We're like,
a
oh,
very high amount of strength to do with any sort of ability. So, yeah, Mo
Unless
probably
you're a
should.
navigator, in which case it's probably wisdom.
Yes, but you're not going to be a
Mo's
navigator.
second lowest score.
Yeah, don't worry. You
and
won't
you're-
be navigating. They have
Mo-
a person for that. They're not going to
Mo,
hire
isn't
one
it-
of you.
Wait, hold on. Time out. Mo, you're terrible at the work of being a seaman. You're terrible at navigating, but it's your dream to sail the seas?
Yeah.
That's sick. I love it.
He said sail the seas, not find his way around them.
Just
Don't sink.
find something your
He
character
plans to be
like,
lost the entire time.
find something your character perfectly like cannot do and make it their dream.
Expertise is capable of compensating.
All right.
Yeah.
Go for 3 charisma. I want to be a public speaker.
It's my dream
Fuck.
to win American Idol.
Fuck.
I think Mo is, however, a strangely skilled shipbuilder.
Okay, I can see that.
He's great at building them. It's just once they're on the water, they're fucked.
You built this ship. I could swear it was different.
It is a different skill set. So,
Yeah, that's funny.
Okay, how much was it for the workless shift?
for just passage is 15.
I have to wait 13 seconds for any input to go in because for whatever reason Google Chrome is operating at Mach -13.
I mean, that's pretty fast, just in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
So, yep. After he takes your coin, he goes and hands Guve a symbol that looks sort of like a storm cloud, and then he hands a slightly different colored one to Oyeko.
Yep.
Just bring those to the captain, and he'll let you on board and get you all settled.
Thank you very much.
Yep,
Good
I'm
luck
just doing my job.
Good luck with those 3 later.
I'll just have to find someone else to deal with those idiots. If I'm lucky. Anyway, safe travels.
So long.
I would have done.
Good luck and don't die.
He's like,
Until
oh, Christ.
we meet again.
So, yep. Do you guys head over to the ship?
I am, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was a big tri-masted galley.
Mm.
And they're, well, not... well, he doesn't look much like a captain. He looks more like a normal sailor, but there is a sunburned younger man just kind of standing by the gangplank.
This guy doesn't know how to avoid sunburns. What a loser.
Just fucking wear clothes to cover up all your skin, dumbass.
Shoot, a ship crewed by
You good?
Tuscan raiders, just like totally wrapped up.
The only thing that's ever visible on me is the head. Smile.
That's all you have.
Yes. I'm a reverse Dolahan.
Greetings, seaman.
He looks up from staring at a spot on the deck.
Be right back.
Do you need something?
Well, we've bartered passage on this vessel to the colonies, and I figured I'd introduce myself. I'm Jahnni Vanguard.
Just nods slowly.
And you?
Vanguard. That's a good name, yeah. Do you have the passage note? The token thing? Yeah?
Hold up
Oh.
token.
Yeah, I'll pull mine out.
And just looks at him. Yeah, that looks like the right token. Looks kind of like a storm cloud, yeah? For perfect things. Storm's wake, right?
Yes, I imagine it was designed to look like that.
It works.
It's a good idea. Anyway, let me go get the captain for you. And he turns up and just kind of tromps up the gangplank.
Is this just me, or did he seem not all there?
What?
He was totally here.
I don't know.
I try not to judge.
So, about 2 minutes later, a man with sun-bleached skin and a similar tricorn hat walks down the gangplank. Pair of scimitars at his hips. Got a short brown beard, kind of cut into a something of a goatee. It kind of goes more further around, connecting up to sideburns. Ah, so you're the passengers this one tells me about. And
Yes.
you've already shown him your tokens, yes?
Mm-hmm.
All right. May I gather them up from you so I can get your names and what exactly you're willing to do on my ship?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure.
So he takes the 2 tokens from you guys and nods at yours, Gouvet, and Mo for when Theo gets back. Ah, you're not doing anything but just riding. Good. I'll have this one show you to your cabins and whatnot. As for you two, what are you willing to do? Or rather, how much experience do you have?
I would assume I'd have some experience on boats, just given.
Based on where you're from? Yes.
Yeah.
You'd have at least some.
I was on a
So-
raft one time in a river.
I'll communicate that I have the experience that I have.
He seems to look at you a little more carefully. It's an odd look. Like he's trying to measure whether or not you're telling the truth. But his expression breaks into a smile. All right. Well, you I can work with. A raft on a river. Well, it's not exactly the same, but I'm sure I can find something for you to do. Well,
Gladly.
we'll be leaving in about 2 or so hours. We still have a few more things to gather and some extra things to get set up. If you need to pick anything up, now's the time. We leave. He just kind of looks up at the sun, covering his eyes. Well, when the sun crosses that point.
All right.
You know if there are any bookstores nearby?
I don't do a hell of a lot of reading myself, so Couldn't say.
All right. I'm gonna go.
Think
to
the dock
bookstore.
man's able to read. Maybe he knows.
Yeah, I'll go ask him.
And
I need
I
to find
will
something to do for the next 2 months of travel.
I will walk off and just I'll go take a look-see around town.
All right.
I'm trying to think if there's anything that's good to have on a boat.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of that too. Kind of coming up blank.
Climber's kit.
We already have.
Yes.
I don't know how on board the captain would be with us like hammering pythons into his mast.
Well, you know what? He won't have a climber's kit, so he won't be able to get us down.
Oh, he'll just shoot you down instead.
Yeah. And then how's he gonna get the body down?
These guys basically
He's gonna be
climb the
stuck
mast.
up there hanging.
These guys
He'll send
basically
someone up to
climb the
grab you.
mast for a living. What do you mean they can't get up there?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
whatever. Sounds like some fucking fake news to me.
Well, it is. I mean, are you going to just wander around, or are you going to go ask the dock worker?
I'm gonna ask him.
I mean, I'm just wandering. I'm not looking for a bookstore or anything.
Yep. So, yeah, we'll do that first. The dock worker tells you that while he doesn't do a hell of a lot of reading, he knows that at least the merchants talk about one of the bookstores known as Bookspinner. It's only a few streets off of the main one, and kind of gestures in back toward the main street you followed, and then tells you to take basically a couple of turns before you make it onto one of the smaller streets where the bookstore falls.
Thank him. And time to go get some books.
All right. Are you two wandering? I'm guessing you're not wandering together. You're wandering separately.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a pretty safe bet.
Yep. So, which one of you wants to go first?
I'm not sure if Jahnni really knows what he's getting into with the sea voyage, so I just think that he's ready to go. He might just walk around the boat, like trying to ask people what the different parts are.
Yep. Most of the sailors just kind of look at you.
I'm your coworker.
That only draws looks of concern. A couple of the ones that are apparently feeling a little more charitable, like at least point out the basic ideas of this is the bow, this is the stern, the right side is the starboard, the left side is port, etc., etc., and
Well,
get you at least
sometimes.
acquainted with the go here. As for Oyeko, you just kind of wander around and eventually stumble into a small clearing that you hear voices coming from.
Ooh. What kind of voices?
At first, you think they're angry, but from kind of when you get nearer and actually can hear the content of what they're talking about, it just seems to be a lively debate instead.
Ah.
And as you come out into a fairly large plaza with what looks like a selection of, I guess there's mosaic technically, inlaid mosaic stones in a large circle shape with then 10 circles kind of set at even parts. And standing on two of on these, kind of yelling across the circle at each other, are two men dressed up in long kind of scholar robes, just brown things. And they seem to be in the midst of a debate. In particular, the two are standing, just because it's fairly easy to tell based on the color of the half moon shape that's kind of inlaid in the ground as the 10. That one is standing in the Einsenloch Dull Moon and one in Melonloch. They seem to be debating the different perks of their particular following as the crowd around is listening.
Oyako will smile, but she's not gonna go listen into it or anything in particular.
Mm-hmm.
She's just kind of walking around, getting a feel for the place.
Yep.
And she'll go back to the ship like with 15 minutes or so to spare.
All right. Yep. I mean, are you looking for anything in particular, or just seeing where your feet guide you?
Seeing where the feet guide me. I am assuming that I don't need to stock up on like 17,000 rations for this journey.
No. The rations will be handled.
Okay. That's kind of what I figured, but I was ready.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
No, we don't need to buy a whole bunch of rations.
I am gonna re-up my torches though, because I'm very quickly running out of those.
Mm-hmm.
And fuck it, we'll buy a glass bottle. Never known you need a glass bottle.
So, as you are wandering through the streets, you've kind of wandered into one of the many shopping areas in the city, as they seem to be kind of set off the main street, but still around. You hear a whistle and then a thunk as an arrow slams into one of the shop signs, like directly over your head. You missed by like a good 5 feet, by about like a foot or two, but it still seemed to be fired in your direction. And looking up at it, you see that it has a small piece of parchment wrapped around it.
Well, taking random parchments is never a bad idea, so I guess I'll pull it out of the sign and see what's written.
Yep. You read the note, which simply says, well, I guess it simply says two things. One written in a surprisingly nice script that seems to be either blood or just some sort of red text that says, Grilp comes. And then kind of in a much sloppier black script, it says, and Croaker. The and Croaker is very big.
Oh boy. So the first one said, who comes?
Grilp. Here, I'll write down the name because it is spelled odd. That's how it's spelled.
Oh boy. Huh. And Croaker. Great. How far in the day is this at this point?
Probably about an hour or so into your wanderings. So about 2-ish.
In that case, I will head back to the docks early.
All right.
Because God forbid they find their way there.
What I miss?
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet.
Yeah. In the meantime, following his directions, you have found your way to Bookspinner, which indeed is a bookstore with a spider who seems to be holding a book in its kind of front claws.
Nice. I will enter.
All right.
It's locked today. No books for you.
No, it's open. Apparently, someone hung a little bell above the door. As opening the door, you hear the little jingle. Inside is a series of neat bookcases. Not packed, but it's not empty. Every shelf at least has books on it, even if most of them are kind of pushed onto their side to fill more space. But there are a number of books here. No one, like, yells greeting or anything, and you don't see a front desk from the doorway.
Hello?
You receive no answer in reply.
Receive no reply. Panic. I mean, so there's no like front desk, right?
Not that you can see from the doorway.
I'm going to start making my way further in.
All right. Where are you aiming? Just the back in general?
The back.
All right. Yep. Weaving through the bookcases, you make it to the back of the shop and find that the front desk is the whole back of the shop. And
Oh.
sitting at it is a gnome.
Mm.
He seems to be in very, very quick communication with some sort of spider. Though it's not a spider that you've ever seen, and it's about the size of a large dog.
Mm.
It's milky white with kind of bluish color. But other than that, it seems to have all the other spider bits.
My last run-in with spiders about the size of a large dog ended rather poorly.
Yeah.
Actually, no, the run with the spiders went pretty well, actually. It was the other thing that didn't go too well.
Yep. A weird crustacean.
Yep. Fucking crabs.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess it's more of a lobster, but regardless, yeah.
Crabs. I'll just like wait for him to notice me, I guess.
Yeah. I'm guessing you don't speak Gnomish, which is why you can't understand
No.
what they're talking.
I speak a lot of things. Nobody's
Where?
one of them.
I guess what the gnome is talking about. The spider isn't answering. You do notice that at least a couple of its eyes seem to be trained on you, but it doesn't seem to have like pointed you out or anything, or is moved to like attack you or anything. And after about a minute or so, the gnome kind of like gestures with one of his hands at the shop and then like turns his head in the same way and notices you and then leaps off of his stool in fright. Clambers back up. I sorry about that. I wasn't anticipating customers.
I mean, the store's open. It makes sense to anticipate customers.
I suppose that's fair. Spinner, you didn't hear the bell, did you? The spider just stares at him impassively. You did? Why didn't you tell me then? The spider continues just staring at him. Fine. Anyway, Spinner's being a little bit grumpy today. What can I do for you?
Well, I'm going on a ship very soon, and I need something to keep me occupied. So I decided to get some books.
He nods. Ah, very good. What sort of books are you looking for?
Let's go with fiction. Fiction. Let's get one action, one mystery, and one romance. What's another genre?
Hops off the counter.
No horror.
Fiction. That's actually a hard one. Not many people are writing fictional accounts right now. At least not in this area. Maybe they're elsewhere, but let me see what I can scrounge up. He just starts kind of wandering around the, well, at this point is kind of a library of his shop, just poking at different shelves and muttering, no, not this one. Maybe that. No, not this one. Remind me what the other ones are. Fiction, romance, not horror, I remember. Payne just left. God damn, I can only remember two of them.
I'm afraid I do not remember.
I should. God damn it, whatever.
Alright, I'm back. Very sorry about that.
It's all right. What ones were you looking for? I remember fiction and I remember romance, but
Action, mystery, and romance. All in the fiction category.
Okay. So, yep, he wanders around the shop just kind of muttering to himself. Sorry, my usual generator doesn't actually do fictional books.
Oh, eh.
I'll figure something else. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Listen, as long as they fall into the genres, I don't really care if it's fiction or nonfiction.
Mm-hmm.
I just assume that most of those would end up being fiction.
You'd think. But most people, since paper and parchment is so expensive, write books that are actually useful.
That's fair, I suppose.
And not everyone can read. So,
Imagine not being able to read.
yeah. So, he eventually pulls a handful of books off of the shelves. He doesn't, like, show them to you. He just plucks them off the shelves and continues moving. One for each of the
Genres?
genres, yeah. And I'm just gonna like give you the names for them at the same time so you can write them down in the chat. So eventually he roots his way back to the counter where the spider is now just kind of slowly spinning a web into the ceiling. All right. So I found a couple of books that seem to fit your needs. They're all fictional, which is good. That was requested. And, well, I mean, they fit the genres as far as I've read. So he goes and pulls the first one and sets it on the counter in front of you. It has a picture of a woman just kind of like breathing. This is Breath of Her Parents. It is a fairly interesting romance. A little bit, well, a little bit darker in ways, but definitely not horror.
Okay.
It speaks of an Arathian girl who ends up accidentally falling in love with one of their undead creatures. It is an odd one, but a romance still technically.
By definition.
He moves that one aside and pulls the other one, which has a knight on horseback standing on the edge of a some sort of like ocean of some sort, with a massive like turtle head just kind of peeking out of the water like a mile off. This is Knights and Turtles. It's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's about one of the, I believe, Catharsin Knights trying to attack Storm Turtle or something. I didn't get very far in it. I read a lot. There's a lot of books. I can't read them all. I don't live long enough. He just kind of pushes it aside. And the last one has a... you're not that familiar with religion, so you wouldn't recognize it immediately. But it shows a mask that has... actually, let me make sure I get the description right so that I'm not naming her incorrectly. Yeah. It has a mask that seems to be like kind of the top half seems to be that of a skeleton, and the bottom half seems to be more elven in appearance.
Velocy. When the fuck did you get here?
Kind of. This one does have two eyes. And the the left one glows emerald, the other one glows purple. This is Goddess of Yesterday. It's a fictional account of meeting with the goddess Vilance. Yeah, I know. I'm not exactly sure how that works, since she's apparently a god of death and whatnot, but I don't know. Seemed pretty cool.
Die and revive? And...
Yeah.
I'll be right
How
back.
much for all of them?
Just kind of mutters to himself, looks up at the spider. How much were we charging for fiction books again? The spider just stares back at him impassively, as it has the entire rest of the time. No, I know you remember. Don't lie. Spider eventually just kind of like pushes one of its forelegs down towards him and points at a specific spot on the counter that, as far as you can tell, is just a normal piece of the counter. He just looks at it, looks back at the spider, and gives it kind of a "you bastard" look, and then just sighs. Let's say 30 gold altogether.
All right. I will hand over 30 gold.
He takes it and pushes it into a, something with a lot of other coins under the counter. Or at least maybe it's a lot of other coins. Maybe it's just your coins bouncing against each other.
It's just a very elastic bag bouncing them all against each other a bunch.
Yeah. That's the titles. And of course, they're connected genres.
Already wrote it down.
Yeah. And I actually should write them down myself so I can add them to my list of authors.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they all have different authors, but that's okay. Dads.
Right. Head back to a boat.
Mm-hmm.
I have books to read.
Yep.
Actually, wait a minute. You can fish off a ship, right?
Yeah.
I need to get fishing poles, well then. I'm going to assume
back.
that there is somewhere nearby the docks that will sell me a fishing pole.
Yes. There's
How much
people
is
that
a
would sell
fishing pole?
tackle. Do they not have block and tackle as a thing? And
They actually might. Let's see. BB.
because it would just be
Block
that.
and tackle. It's a gold piece.
All right, then yeah, they would sell it for that.
All right. I'll get a. All right. Tools. Fishing pole. If I had a bow, I could bow fish, but can't do that with a gun. That is not how you spell pole. Fishing pool. That's all I had to get.
All right. Does Mo need to get anything, or is Mo pretty happy with what he's got?
How soon is the ship leaving?
You have about 2 hours from when you originally put in your thing, so you have time to walk around,
Okay.
buy some like last minute things.
Last minute things. Okay. I don't think Mo has anything. 'Cause the only thing I can think of right now is armor.
Mo should stay on the ship so that way Mo doesn't.
I mean,
fucking
you might be
lose
able to
track of
get
time.
armor, not like, pre-made, but or not, made specifically for you, but you might be able to get a pre-made set.
I don't know, because I haven't even really decided on armor.
Okay.
Oh, you know what I would get though is a shield.
You can definitely find one of those a lot easier.
Now let's just quickly check something though. 5e rogue.
I don't think they're proficient with shields, I hate to tell you.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out.
Well, I think you do get your proficiencies if you get them from Word Mage.
Usually, I never made a multi-classing thing for proficiencies, but because it's a mage class, most mage classes just don't give any proficiencies in that category.
That's mostly because every other class already has their proficiency.
Yeah. And War Mage has almost negative proficiencies. Anyway, no no shield, so I don't have anything.
Okay. Then, sounds like you guys are all set to go.
Sir.
By the way, Peyton, in the same order, that's the authors of those books.
All right.
So, guys, get ready and are getting on the ship. Is Oyeko going to share her message?
Not yet.
All right.
Seems best to
Let it pass for a little bit.
Yeah.
So, yep. For Guve and Mo, you guys are shown to your bunks, as you do not get a room for yourselves. They just don't have the room here.
Mm-hmm.
So you sleep in a big room with the other people's. Though the other people's is basically no one other than a single merchant with a couple of like porters, effectively, who all kind of are like bundled up on the opposite side of the thing, and what seems to be one of the skeletons, who just is kind of sitting there staring at a wall.
I'm sure that's fine.
Yep.
Doesn't concern me.
Yeah. Once the ship starts moving, you kind of see it like look toward the wall and hold a hand over its face.
You good, bud?
I am very seasick.
And Guve starts trying to puzzle out how a skeleton with no internal organs can become seasick, especially
Rocket's
because
coming out.
you don't have the inner ear required to become seasick.
Yep. Well, you know that Arathian skeletons are odd creatures. Because some of them, some of them seem to remember who they were in life and, continue acting as usual, just sans the flesh.
Mm-hmm.
Others don't. It's usually the ones that wield magic. For Jahnni and Oyeko, however, you guys are immediately put to work helping crewmen raise sails and like sweep and do other things of keeping the ship functioning. And
All right.
you guys start your travels. I'm not going to have you roll for it. It's not not worth rolling for. Even if you guys don't do it, they have enough crew members to like handle all the tasks. It's just you guys are there to add your
and get lost overboard.
And one of them's the imposter.
No, there was a pretty good DM I had actually. What he had us do was roll a d20. And then if
That
we
is
rolled
pretty
low,
good.
we'd take 1d6 bludgeoning damage. And if we rolled high, then nothing would happen.
Well, in this case, you guys are on a big ship, not a little dinghy.
No, we were on a big ship.
How are you taking damage on a big ship?
Well, that was before the dragon showed up and gave us plot advice.
So, yep. The first week or so is very, very dull for Guve and Mo. Your ride-alongs are not talkative at all.
That's
But, yep, you guys are like fed the same as the crew members. So basically hardtack and from their water stores, along with apparently once weekly a fruit that you at least recognize, Guve, as an orange.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hence why we're picking it up at the end of week 1. As everyone gets an orange, some hardtack, and water for the day.
I just don't am going to be fishing to try and supplement that with, actual fucking food.
Yeah, they have some other crewmen that sometimes throw in fish once in a while, but they're not always biting.
Yeah.
You seem to have some better luck, but you also happen to have a better sense for fish.
Yeah. I also always wear my Gone Fishing t-shirt. It gives me luck. I just wear it over the rest of my outfit.
Yep. So what have you guys been doing, Mo and Guve, since I know what Oyeko and Jahnni have been doing?
Mo is watching with rapt attention any and all activities on the boat.
All right. It is. There is actually lots of activity. They keep people very busy,
And when I
especially
say
because the
rapt attention,
winds.
I mean
Mow attention.
highly divided attention.
Yep.
It's rapt attention in general, but it's highly divided between every individual thing.
Yeah.
Never focusing on anything for more than like 5 seconds.
So, yeah, during dinner for the last day of week 1. And Jahnni, you've been handed this strange orange ball and told to eat it. I said we get around to it at some point.
Yeah, I mean, this is the place where you can't have me getting scurvy. So
Exactly.
so I look around to see how other people are eating it.
Most
just bite
people
into
seem
it
to
like an
just be
apple?
like taking out knives or just peeling with their hands. So taking off the outside skin and then eating the inside part. You see the skeleton just try and freaking just shove the entire thing and just bite through flesh, skin, and all.
Yeah,
Though it's also a skeleton, so
I'll test it with my fingers and see if I can peel it with my hands, and if not, I'll use a knife.
yeah, you're strong enough to be able to crack open an orange. And
I'd be
peel
more surprised if any of us weren't strong enough. It's a
Mhm.
fucking orange.
It's not the strength to crack it open.
You look across the table. Mo's being pinned by the orange. It's
Mo
got
is
him in a
somehow
sleeper
in a
hold.
chokehold. Yeah. Jump out! Jump out!
You have average dexterity, Johnny. You can crack the oak.
Tap
the
out! I'm
orange
gonna
without
break your
issue.
arm like a twig, Mo.
I mean, it takes you a minute, but you get it open.
Sweet.
Some people
Then
use a knife too. So
I just start eating it one piece at a time, one wedge at a time.
all right. Yep. You eat the first couple and start feeling ill. Could you go ahead and roll me a con save?
Absolutely.
Nat 1, nat 1, nat 1, nat 1. Oh, that's
All
pretty
right.
good, actually.
Huh. You're eating about the 4th piece before something in your body starts screaming at you to stop eating this thing at all costs.
Johnny, why do you look so wrong? It's just an orange. Used to cure a scurvy.
Your throat starts closing up. It's not quite closed yet, but it's certainly starting to not feel good.
This is not agreeing with me. I'm being poisoned, I think.
What?
I think I'm being poisoned.
Can I try to roll medicine to identify this as whether or not he is actually being poisoned or he's having an allergic reaction?
Sure, go
I
ahead.
can't breathe.
That's pretty good.
My God, it's poison.
I mean, it's not low enough to just all of a sudden say it's definitely poison, but you can't say. You just don't have the necessary.
I've never met anyone who just had an allergic reaction to citrus.
Yes.
On the other, oh damn it!
A 14 is at least a little better, but
I'm not
you're
trained
pretty
in
sure it's not
medicine,
poison.
actually.
I can't.
You're at least pretty sure it's not poison, based on your relations with how people die of poisoning. You don't know very much, but you're pretty sure that's not how it's supposed to work.
Medic.
Usually it takes a little longer, for
What's a
instance.
medic? What does that mean, Johnny?
Before anyone gets any ideas, I didn't poison him.
If you've
I
stopped eating the
easily
orange
did
at piece 4, you're not dying. But if you continue attempting to eat it, it won't go well.
I'm not attempting to eat it.
And yeah, it feels uncomfortable, but you're not dead.
I might go to the side of the ship and make myself sick.
If I see he has left his orange, I'm going to finish eating it.
Ooh,
For me?
Yeah.
very
I'm guessing
casual,
you just
but
like leave
Johnny's
it
like
on,
dying.
leave it where you eat the hardtack and whatnot. So yeah, you can pick it up and eat the rest of it.
I'll like eat a single piece and then wait to see if I start feeling like I'm about to die, see if he was poisoned. And then it's like,
it's a little more sour than the one you were eating, but
uh,
like has no adverse effects.
it's just sour. What a baby.
I mean, it's still sweet, but you know those oranges when you don't quite get them at the right ripeness, and
Yeah,
they're
I
like
know the ones.
awfully sour. Yeah. Well, yeah. The crewmen are confused, but wave it off as you just not knowing how oranges are supposed to be eaten or something.
I was like, he probably sprayed some juice in his eye like an idiot.
Is there like a barrel of water I can dunk my head in?
Dunk your head in. I mean, they have barrels of water. You're pretty sure that it's drinking water, however. Unless you're willing to let them, like, walk down the rope so that you can, like, put your head into the surf.
No, that's a little extreme.
Because the quartermaster is standing near the barrels, keeping a very close eye to make sure no one gets extra and whatnot. 2 months is a long time. And seawater is not drinkable here, as usual.
I'd say that.
If you
Usually
really
it's drinkable anywhere.
Seawater's drinkable everywhere.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just a matter
fair,
of
I
it's good to
suppose.
drink. You can certainly drink it.
Yep. You can also certainly drink bleach. You shouldn't, though.
That's true. I
Yeah.
drink bleach all the time.
So, yep.
And it's never gone well.
I've been to the emergency room a lot.
I started with baking soda and slowly worked my way up so my body would learn how to deal with a caustic substance.
That's the tag.
Yeah. I did the
Eventually,
same
you just
thing with
eat
bullets.
gelatinous cubes.
I'm now immune to 9mm.
Dude, I should do that with bread.
Yeah, you should.
So,
You should do that with smelling things.
I don't think that's how that one works.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works.
As opposed
Teach
to
your body
everything
to
else
smell.
we've been talking about, which is exactly how those work.
Yeah, Theo. What are you implying?
Are you implying I can't just shoot myself with a 22 enough times where I become immune to a 22?
Yeah, Theo's always been a bullshitter, funny guy. Theo, that's what they call him.
You're full of shit, Theo.
Yeah, piece of shit, Theo too. Just
Man,
real
can't wait-
shithead, Theo.
Can't wait for Johnny to get scurvy at the end of this because he can't get any fucking nutrients.
Not like this.
Yep.
Except
So,
in character, which is
next
yes,
week-
like this.
Yeah. The next week, once again, nothing is all that exciting. You guys don't even hit any like stormy patches. It's fairly calm. The wind's strong and water is nice and calm. And once again, Johnny, you're handed an orange and told to eat it.
I'm not eating that thing.
I'll take it.
I'll just hand it to Give.
Yeah. I mean, the quartermaster, he apparently hears your comment and just continues on with handing oranges down the line. He does not seem to give a damn.
Not my job.
Yep.
This is Johnny. Because you don't like the oranges, I'll give you some fish when I catch it.
Sounds good to me.
So, at week 3, the captain announces that you have made it to about the halfway point by his reckoning.
Fine, bud.
This trip is fast.
Now I need to think of a town that he's actually headed towards. Peyton, do you have any idea what the largest town in the colony is, just off the top of your head?
That would be Concord.
All right, then that would be the one you're headed towards.
There's a reason that was the place all the refugees went to.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you're about the halfway point. Yeah. The captain has been. I mean, he's doing captaining. He does driving some of the time, but for the most part, he is the main ship navigator. So he's mostly in his cabin, looking at maps and checking to make sure that you guys are on the right path.
All right, I need one sec. I'll be back in a second.
All right. In the meantime, of course, the skeleton is miserable. The merchants are just kind of there. They just kind of keep doing their thing, sitting around chatting amongst themselves.
Disgusting.
Yeah, the skeleton in particular is returned, so he's a normal skeleton.
Skeleton warriors. Da 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 da.
Yeah, there are now two kinds of skeletons. Well, there were always two kinds of skeletons, but they actually have names now. The returned is the kind of usual skeleton. They're the ones that are just come back from the dead. They have no additional effects or anything. The others are the spell formed, and those ones are the stranger of the two.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because they have magic. They also seem to have lost a lot more of their memories. So. And the close of the first month, you guys, let's actually see. What is the last 3 days of the month? Ooh, lucky. The crew, of course, gets everything ready, everyone who isn't cursed. And there are some crew members who have the curse to make sure the ship can continue functioning even during the night. As the ship is just pushing on through the night. It doesn't, they don't have a slowdown where they like stop. They just kind of keep pushing on where there's enough stars that you can do so.
Mm-hmm.
And so they get everyone ready. For those who aren't cursed, they encourage them to go under the deck. And for those who are cursed, they're the ones who are forced to work. In particular, for you, Oyeko and Jahnni, you guys are. It's inquired whether or not either of you are cursed. If you're, you guys both answer no. I'm assuming,
Of
and
course.
so they give you basically the night off so that you don't have to help. With
That would be
You-
one.
you
That would be
are
one
cursed?
sadistic.
Of course.
Captain. That would be one sadistic captain. Get out there! I'm not cursed. I don't give a shit. No. Get cursed.
Nah, that is just kind of a way of life. It's you don't freaking force people who aren't cursed into the cursed moon unless you're evil
Yeah.
or a cultist. So,
Yeah.
but all of the preparations are for naught, as when the moon finally rises, it is just the draining, dull moon instead. Which means the next 2 nights, everyone gets back on normal shifts because everyone knows that they are safe from the cursed moon rising. And the last day of the month passes into the night. And Oyeko or Jahnni, which of you would be working night shift?
Um.
I'd be
wanna
down
flip
to
a
work
coin?
night shift.
Yeah, one of you has been assigned night shift, so
Yeah, I
Go
can take
for it.
that.
Go for it. All yours.
all right. So,
Oyeko stayed up enough nights where she's cool with it, so
yeah, they allow you to sleep during the day and then you work during the nighttime, making sure everything is like the ship is still traveling on the correct route, checking rigging, etc., etc. Sometimes cleaning, but that's fairly rare for you, Oyeko, since you actually kind of know what you're doing. And
Hog. Being on a boat before has its perks.
yeah. The dull moon, of course, doesn't affect you because you don't have magic, but you do see some of the people that do have curses, like the cursed marks. They seem to be a little more sluggish as the moon drains their powers.
Oyeko likes the dull moon.
Mm-hmm. It does that to all magic users. It's kind of hard,
It's
weakening
kind of
magic,
hog.
and yeah, weakens their spells and weakens them in general. And out among the kind of when you're fixing one of the ropes for the sail, you look out and you see a light flash for just a moment.
I'll just notify one of the like close by crew members, like, hey, did you see that?
The guy looking at the one of the other ropes just kind of looks up, and the light flashes again. You mean the light?
Yeah.
I think is a ship, right?
That would be my assumption.
Yeah. This guy is a a wood elf of some sort. He just kind of stares up through the darkness up towards the kind of top deck where the wheel is. We were meant to be meeting a ship. And yells up to one of the men up on that deck near the kind of signal light of its own. Who looks out over the railing. I don't think so.
Oh. That's not good.
Indeed, that isn't good. Oh yeah, Cook, do you mind going and rousing some of the other crew members? We might be about to be raided.
Sounds good to me. I'll hustle down.
And that you hear that guy kind of yelling to the other members of the crew. And the sound behind you of weapons being drawn and ropes being kind of shifted to a different position.
I'll go wake up my party members first, of course.
Yep. You crawl through the different hammocks and cots that have been set into the walls and are able to get to your kind of assigned position.
Hey, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake
Mm.
up.
What?
We might be about to be raided.
Roll out of bed, grab gun, start heading up to the deck. Ruining my goddamn sleep. I'm fishing tomorrow.
I will wake up a decent chunk more. He didn't say how many he wanted me to wake, yeah?
No, he didn't.
Also, I realized something unfortunate.
What?
I can't get poultice out here.
No, you can't. Not without having the ship pause, and you can dive into the water and try and find plants underwater, but not at this deep.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean
And
this deep?
also-
It's only like 30 feet.
Also, Carlisle would probably just drive off without you.
Mhm.
Probably. So, Carlisle himself is standing on the deck when you guys return, just kind of staring through a spyglass out at the light, which at this point has resolved into another ship, since it is actually like lit up with its own selection of torches and lanterns. He takes the spyglass down and hands it to the man standing next to him, who you guys recognize as the first mate. All right. Seems that we have unwelcome company. We do see their flag. It's definitely omniscience. It's possible they're just coming to trade, but best be wary. All omniscients seem to carry weapons, and their tongues are just as sharp. Keep an ear out.
Not.
And the ship continues along its trail and is eventually intersected by the other ship, who pulls up alongside. And they throw some hooks across and have the people kind of slide down them, armed but not currently drawn.
My God, they have arms.
I'm
They
going
have
to be,
scimitars, rapiers, etc.
I want to be on the other side of the deck from the side they went on. I'm
Mhm.
going to have my weapon out.
I'm not going to
Not aiming, but
but I will be pulling out my shield.
They are very obviously omniscient in their dress. They're basically dressed like pirates. Thin clothing, kind of mismatched from a dozen different nations. A dozen different nations. There aren't even a dozen different nations, but like 2 or 3 different people have freaking Arathian clothes, a couple of fancy catharsist clothes, some more like kind of rugged Thalshan clothes. Just mismatch of a dozen different styles. And along with, of course, their sun darkened skin from being out on the waves. The man who kind of steps forward to discuss terms with Carlisle is a giant of a man, standing probably almost 7 feet tall, but he appears to be human. Doesn't have tusks or anything to mark him as an orc. Carlisle, what do we have the pleasure of seeing you on this area of the seas? You know we're the ones that hold this area. Carlisle just nods to him. I do indeed. What exactly do I deserve the pleasure for your meeting this late at night? Oh, figured I'd drop in and say hi. We have some bounties and whatnot. Figured if you had any traders on board, they might be interested in offloading some of their goods to a interested party. Just kind of looks around. Seems your boys are a little jumpy, ain't they? Just kind
It
of
should be
looks
noted
around.
I don't have my weapon out, but I'm ready to draw it.
Yeah. Well, not all the sailors. This seems like the more elder ones are still have their weapons in their hilts, or not still in their hilts, in their scabbards. But the younger ones definitely at least have their hands on the hilts. And a couple of them have them drawn, like Guve.
As a note, although I do have it drawn, I'm not pointing it, and I'm going to be taking a relaxed looking, sitting up against the rail on the other side.
Yeah. Well, this guy seems to still recognize what exactly you're holding.
Mm-hmm.
It's not surprising. Omniscients raid everywhere, and you're between waters, so it's very possible he's seen rifles before. Heck, he's probably been shot by rifles before.
And he might again.
Yeah. The man is covered in scars, but otherwise is, of course, uninjured at the moment. So, what can I get you? Do I actually need to ask all that harshly, or can I chat with the merchants of our own fine establishment as well? Carlisle just kind of looks him up and down. Merchant doesn't have much. New. Or broke. One of the two. Man just looks a little bit disappointed. I suppose that's fair. Not all merchants have plenty of gold to throw around. Just looks at the group in general and seems to notice you, Oyeko, in particular. Yeah. You hiring my crewmen now, Carlisle? Don't recognize many omniscients off the bat. Carlisle just kind of glances at you. Just a traveler. He nods. I suppose that's fair enough. We get around. He seems to consider for a moment. Well, what do you think, boys? The other, pirates, as they obviously are, just kind of look around.
No, Mitchell, they said they were merchants. Did you miss that part?
Yes, merchants. Heavily armed merchants.
Well, you gotta protect
as
yourself,
all
Mitchell.
good merchants ought to be.
God, some people are so judgmental.
Yep. They look around. Let's see. How brave are these pirates feeling? Are they feeling bold today? There's some kind of muttering between them. And the captain eventually just kind of rolls his shoulders. We took in a few vessels not too long ago for a nice old refit. I think we can leave yours alone this time. But no promises for the next, as is our agreement, of course. Carlisle just gives him a short nod, and the man just gives him a big smile. Oh, don't be like that. You and me both know how your father and mother view you, and of course our little agreement. You help our turtle grow big and strong. Many people get along due to your actions. Feel proud. All right, time to go. And with that, the pirates climb back across, pull their hooks back, and break contact with your ship. And with that, though, Carlisle looks around at the kind of crew still very obviously ready to go at a moment's notice and just barks, get back to work. And the crew disperses back to either continuing to do their work for the night or back to their bunks with a few muttering curses that didn't grow hotter than it was.
God, these people are bloodthirsty.
I mean, when a pirate jumps on board and freaking obviously is threatening you, adrenaline starts running either one way or another. So
That is fair enough.
I'm back.
So, yep. The captain just kind of stands and watches as the ship kind of moves back out into the darkness before eventually turning away and heading back to his cabin.
Silence for just half a second. Oh, okay. It's G. I was trying to figure out what the mysterious like squeegeing noise was coming from.
What?
You
I think
squeegeeing
it's
on Mitchell's time?
What is my mic doing?
yeah, I can hear it. I wasn't thinking about it too much, but I have no idea. Is it from Jake's mic? I don't know.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
I'll
Then
move some
again,
shit around.
Lumpy's mic is just continuously broadcasting for me, so it could. But it
Yep.
seems to light up with Jake's mic. Or
Yeah,
line up
I don't
with
know.
Jake's mic's lighting up. It's not a huge issue. I just was like hearing it in the background for a while, and then suddenly like, wait a second, there's background noise. What's going on?
I see.
So, yeah. What are you guys doing?
I mean, presumably getting back to work for me.
Going to bed.
This is par for the course. I don't see what the problem is.
Yep, back to bed.
God, we'll make a sailor out of Theo yet. He's already just completely unfazed by this.
Yeah. So, yep. You guys head back to what you were doing before, whether working or sleeping. And the rest of the night passes uneventfully. The pirates do not return.
Let's be honest. Mo was entirely baffled as to why those two thought bribery was wrong.
Yep.
Bribery is wrong. It's abusing wealth for your own personal gain.
Yeah. He's like, no, I get that bribery's wrong, but it's very useful.
Yeah.
It's a helpful tool that will help us later.
Surprise tool that'll help us later. Oh no.
Not on my watch. It'll never help us.
It genuinely bothers Oyeko every time her and Jahnni agree on something.
Yeah, I love how you're like, look, even me and Jahnni agree on this. So I'm like, that does not help you here.
Yeah.
And yet here we are on the good ship.
On a ship.
Yeah, this is... Oyeko isn't particularly happy being on this ship either, to be honest.
No, I should clarify that this is it's good in the way that it best meets our needs.
She's viewing it as a necessary evil.
This isn't necessarily evil, but bribing isn't.
So based on that conversation with the Raiders, it's not as bad. He wasn't like, yeah, kill all the passengers, death, which is good.
Yeah. It's almost like there's more to everything.
It's almost like things usually aren't black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are sometimes, like old movies.
Hence why I said usually.
Yeah, but they are sometimes, Peyton, you idiot.
Yeah, hence why I said usually, you fucking brainlet.
Oh, but like, what if you didn't say usually?
If I didn't say usually, that'd be wrong, but I did say usually. Yeah, no answer. No answer. Your Honor, he's an idiot.
Your Honor, I would like to accuse Payton of murdering
Objection.
George Bush.
George Bush murdered himself. Objection, Your Honor.
Objection, George Bush totally deserved it.
Yeah. Objection. Yes,
Objection
I did it, but
sustained.
he deserved it. Objection.
Objection. This is not a
I'm gonna
crime.
be honest. By saying objection, I was hoping I would think of what to object to.
I didn't. The music just stops.
So fucking good. That case is so fucking good.
Oh god.
Wow, these things are really that. Huh.
Mitchell's like, damn, I don't think you guys can take a Kraken. Oh well, only one
I
way
know,
to
if
find out.
If I needed something like a Kraken, I have plenty of options. If I really needed something like that, I drop a freaking Zaratan on you guys and freaking laugh.
Zaratan, the Earth.
Yeah, Island turtles.
You like Island
Dogs.
Zardons.
Or I guess as they're called, they have a different name in this world, but it's the same basic idea. But I'm just trying to think if we have time to do combat.
Spoiler.
I'm just trying to plan out the rest of this in my head. That's what I got.
Oh, so what do you mean spoiler? That always happens. It's always like,
Look, here's the thing. If you go on a boat and there's not combat, it's a disappointment.
Yeah.
If you go anywhere and there isn't combat, it's a disappointment. Combat's sick.
But like, it's like legally required that you have boat combat.
Maybe a better question is, Lumpy, when do you feel like you want to go to bed?
Me?
You.
Lumpy's like, oh, I can go to bed now?
Why didn't you say so? No,
Snore.
the cap for me is 11.
All right.
Yes.
And that's enough time. So,
A dragon comes out of the water, see?
It does a backflip and lands and turns into a person. Only you see it. And if you try
Watch a
and hide,
giant start rising out of the water, right?
if you try and hide, it'll sniff you out and tell you secrets.
Christ.
I am going to tell you plot and you are going to like it.
this
Still haven't forgiven you for that one, by the way,
necessary.
Mitchell.
What?
Where you sent the plot dragon to where I was. Because it had no way to know where I was. You're like, oh, you should go talk to that one. I'm like, no, Mitchell, you traitor.
Oh, yeah.
You got outplayed.
It was funny, though.
Look, lizard folk are lizard folk. They're going to venerate dragons. The dragon asked an easy question for him to answer. He was doing what he thought was right. Because what he thought was right was, what does this dragon want? It wants that? Great, let me give it that. Because I don't want to die. If you freaking say no to dragons, they eat you. I know that one likes to
Still a
talk. It doesn't
dragon,
matter.
which is a cozy dragon.
Freaking heck, it was a talkative one, but still. Lizard folk don't exactly understand how the world works all the time. All right. So, yeah. Time passes. More week.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. At about the midpoint of the, I guess at this point, the 5th week, first week of the new month, you guys hear a call of alarm. And I guess Johnny's probably working at this point.
Sure.
And standing on at the bow of the ship, holding one of the sailors between his claws, is a massive green-skinned humanoid that is yelling something in a language I'm pretty sure you guys don't understand, but let me check.
If it's Orcish, I do understand it.
Here, actually, I can tell.
He's gonna use advanced tactics.
If it's common, I can understand it.
It is not common. Let me just see.
Like, that's not true, right? Yeah.
No, it's true. I have languages common, known,
Okay, I thought you said if it was common, I don't understand it. I'm
Oh,
like, wait.
oh.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait.
Can any of you understand what it says?
Yeah, there's a bunch
Yeah,
of symbols.
Yes, or
I understand that little part in the middle.
Yeah.
Mm.
Roar something in a language none of you understands. The
Well, I
sailors
mean-
all kind of like push away, and one of them shouts something about troll.
I start putting away the fishing rod.
I'm asleep at this point, seeing as how it's the middle of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just
At
getting
this
ready to
point,
throw
since the
down.
troll apparently hasn't been listened to in the last like 3 seconds, it takes the sailor, claws him in the guts, and then just throws him overboard in front of the boat.
And there he
Before
goes.
moving on.
Initiative?
Yeah. Initiative.
Do I wake up from all this yelling?
Yeah, I would say so. It's pretty loud.
Give me a fist. You. Oh, sick.
I need to actually get better. Nope.
Ah,
Doesn't it auto roll your advantage?
It doesn't auto result. It doesn't auto roll my
Yeah.
advantage. Because there's nowhere to
Sometimes.
put it.
there probably is a way to get it set up. We just don't know how.
Yeah.
But you guys will have a small number of crewmen as well, so I'll give you one of those. I wonder if they have like guard or something as a creature I can throw.
Yeah, guards are a creature.
Well, just as an easy thing that I don't have to like. Yeah, they do have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's draw one of them.
Oh, I lack the permissions to update the owned items. God.
What are you trying to do?
I didn't try to do anything. You dragged stuff and it started yelling at me.
All right. So you guys will have. All right. I need to like copy him so that I have it. Yeah. You guys aren't really guards; they're sailors, but close enough. Right. What is this thing's? Okay. I'm just gonna see what it rolls on the die. Wow, it was not ready for this.
It cut the guy in half and was like, all right, now they'll listen to me. And then everyone pulled up and was like, whoa, whoa, bro. Calm down.
All right. Technically, it's 3 because it does have a bonus. What do guards have for dex? Yeah, 12 is probably good enough for these guys. I guess I'll give. Oh, 2 of them are elves, so we'll give them a little bonus.
Turned off all the graphic settings for this, and it's still like 13 frames.
Come on. There we go. They vanished. There we go. All right. Mo, could you go ahead and do your fight, please?
Right. Um, we're gonna do fight, and we're gonna false life. Jahnni.
All right.
Four plus 4. Oh, sick. All right. 51 out of
Do
43.
they have weapons in a different place? Or am I just... Am I just unable to spell scimitar? Is that why I'm struggling here?
SCI.
That's what I was forgetting. Yep. Yeah, I was just misspelling it, that's all.
Ah.
All right, there we go. They have the right weapons now. So 2 of the guards have spears, the other 2 have scimitars.
Oh my god, wait, what? All of a sudden, it's just frames perfect.
Hmm.
Okay. I don't know what I did. Regardless. That's my fight or flight.
All right. So then the combat starts in earnest then. Sorry, I'm just making it so I can remember.
Oh, why is my back to having 20 resources?
I don't know why it does that.
No.
It is bizarre. Wonder, can I just lock that? Module settings. Always show all available resources on sheet. No. Here. No, that's not. No, that is the thing. Oh, but I have to reload it. That's why. Always show all available resources. I can force you to have 20. All right. I can even randomize the runes so that every time someone talks and you can't understand them, you can't do it correctly.
Can't code break it.
Yeah. Because it does use the same thing. If I don't
Imagine there's someone who actually just like code breaks the.
I can now read all the languages. All right, Mo, it is your turn.
Oh. I'm sorry. I shut down the initiative order to change graphics settings. Okay.
Oh my gosh, I can pull the combat tracker out? I didn't know I could do that. I'm
Pog.
happy with that.
Can I do that?
I don't know.
No.
Right click on the little fist.
Oh, yeah, you can. Look at that.
Yeah, I didn't know I could.
Look at that.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it out and I'm just going to hover it over the chat box where it would normally be anyway.
Hell yeah. Okay. Something about running up and mailing a troll just doesn't seem.
Yeah, he's got these big claws that look like they're pretty
Crib.
deadly.
Okay, I have a question about Shadowblade actually. Do you like permission to update owned items?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, Theo.
I pulled things.
Shadowblade is finesse. Does it add like your ability score modifiers to damage?
I don't think so, due to the fact that it's spell damage. And unless a spell explicitly states it does that, usually it doesn't.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That's what I was thinking. I just wasn't.
The troll is dead. I just wanted to add it as a troll rather than as something
Gotcha.
else. I do need to mess with the stats because it's not a usual troll. It's a special troll. Although it's not that special. I didn't know it has the exact same AC as a freaking normal troll. That's actually kind of great.
So what's the thing where you hold your action or something until initiative 0? Is that a thing?
Keep in mind, I allow you to pop in whenever you'd like.
Okay.
But
I'd like to pop
yes.
in after Jahnni.
All right.
Jahnni Vanguard.
Why are you like marked? Oh, because you've already had your turn. That's why. All right. Yeah, I'll move you when the time comes. Here, if you want to go after Jahnni for this round in particular, we'll move you down there.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, Geve, then it is your turn.
Well,
There's a big troll. It's angry.
yeah, let's hit him with first of all the extra damage one, the bonus action.
All right.
And our troll's weakness is common knowledge.
Fire and acid. Yes.
Okay, good. Just
This,
wanted
by the
to.
way, does not look like a usual troll. Just as a note.
All right, just in case, then I'll use an action, choose it, blah blah. Damage means resistances and vulnerabilities, and what they are.
All
Hidden
right.
from divination magics. It just tells me to fuck myself, basically.
This thing is not protected by divination magic, so you get at least the major info. It's a little slower on land, for instance.
Mhm.
Also, its regeneration is significantly stronger than its land-based cousins. This regeneration can only be shut down if it takes cold and fire damage at the same, during the same turn, basically.
Hit it with cold and fire both of them at the same time. That's my turn.
Yeah.
Guy
Otherwise, its
who just has a
regeneration
cooler
just
full of
slows.
snowballs. My God, my time has come.
I started fucking pouring liquid nitrogen over my fucking bullets. You'll never see this one coming.
And now I want to make a fighter that has like the tavern brawler feat and only fights by throwing snowballs.
Yeah, that's all I can do. That's an action, bonus action.
Honestly, it's pretty fun to play someone that just uses no real weapons. You
Just like
just
rip a
use.
mug at a guy.
Yeah, it's effective. Okay, need to edit these numbers. Are these?
It'll be like
Does
that.
it update the weapons automatically?
It was like that samurai guy who he got challenged by like the greatest swordsman in like Japan or something, and he beat him using like the oar of a boat. Then he beat some other guy who got mad about it and challenged him again. Was gonna have a bunch of people jump and like kill him. So he got there early and hid in some
Oh.
bushes. Then he jumped
Great,
the
thanks,
guy, like
Theo.
knocked him out, and
That
just
works
ran
fine
away.
with me.
Oh God.
Sorry, it's a troll, so I have most of the stuff, but this is not like a normal troll, so I need
Yeah.
to edit its effects because they're not correct. AKA, it's weaker than it's supposed to be. All right. Are you going to shoot at it?
No,
At the
that
troll.
was an action and bonus action. That's all I can do.
Oh, you can just look at it hard.
Yeah, looking at it hard is a full ass action,
Jeez, really?
and then looking at it hard and going, "I'm gonna fucking kill you in 5 minutes," is a bonus action. So yeah, that's all I had.
Hopefully it'll roll correctly. I don't think it will, though. All right. So the guards are going to go. Or I guess the guards. Just because it's going to annoy me, because they're not guards, they're sailors. So one of them is going to attempt to poke the troll with his spear. Poke. Yeah, and unsurprisingly, he does not get through its tough hide. Ayako, you wake up to lots of shouting on the deck.
Yep.
And what
I
sounds
guess
like an annoyed roar.
I will start to sprint up there.
Yep. I mean, you can get to the deck on this turn, but you won't be able to get within melee quite yet.
Yeah.
All right. One of
Jeez.
the elven sailors will run up and attempt to help his friend, attacking with his scimitar. He's going to work together and get a flank. Ooh, and he actually scores a hit that gets through its armor. I mean, it's a freaking pitiful blow, but it's a blow nonetheless. Trolls don't have damage reduction. At least not a normal one. All right, the other two sailors are going to also attack. They can't quite get into the flanking position, so they're just going to have to swing normally. Freaking heck, the elves are doing good, really well. They have injured the troll,
Not for
Slightly.
long.
but it's injured. All right, so that math took too long to All right, and then it's going to go. When does troll regeneration kick in? At the beginning of its turn? Yep. So you see the few cuts and stab wounds go away entirely. Because trolls regenerate
What is
freaking
this?
ridiculously fast. All right, Jahnni.
Well, I
There's a big troll. It's covered in seaweed. Looks like it can swim really well. It's also really pissed off about something.
charge.
You can do that.
Slice it. I am a simple man.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, swing for it.
Apply a simple trade.
And 17 is going to connect.
Oh, sick. This
For a
is the
mighty blow
legendary
that
anti-use
nearly
lightning
brings
sword
its
of the pond.
regeneration to, well, it's what it healed anyway, back to where it was.
Stop
But
killing my coworkers.
oh, it actually didn't go. It just regenerated.
Oh, right.
It regenerated and got angrier.
It's gonna swing for the guards. Swing once, twice, and nomming on the same guy. All right. So one of the claws digs in, and that guard's gone. As one of the sailors is killed by the claw just all on its own, and it bites down on another one who doesn't die, but is certainly injured. One of the elves, heavily. All right, then you strike it. You deal damage. Yay. Do you want to do anything else, or is that kind of the deal?
Oh, no, that's it.
All right. Alrighty then. Then we come to Mo,
Whoa.
who just saw Jahnni sprint ahead.
Is against her better judgment going to wait. Let's look at Bane real quick. Mo's gonna move up next to Jahnni against her better judgment.
All right.
Would you like to hit harder?
Absolutely.
Alright. Then I'm gonna cast this on him.
All right.
And then I'm going to bravely. How far up did Jahnni move? Or like how far away is Jahnni?
Probably like, we'll say it's 20 feet.
Okay.
Give you a little bit of room to retreat if you wish.
I wish to retreat and take a quick boop with the short bow. If the
Yep, you could do that.
short bow would click it down there.
Would pop.
Nah. I'm gonna assume 10 doesn't hit it,
It does not.
or at least doesn't pierce through its natural armor.
Yeah.
That's my turn.
It just bounces off of its tough, watery hide. So, that is the end of round 1. Bop. And Mo, it's your turn again.
My God, the forbidden double turn.
He has
One
to
sailor
think of
is
what he
down,
wants to
by the
do.
way. He's bleeding out, but not killed. It didn't deal enough damage to outright kill him.
Alright. Then let's
Just as a thing, while I'm thinking of it,
Okay.
this guy's down. I'm considering letting the NPCs also take wounds. So rather than having them die, they might just be heavily injured. Just as a note.
Okay.
So they might get over their being dead little NPCs.
Except for that guy who got yeeted off the boat. He's dead. as well.
Yeah, that guy's probably dead since he got run over by the boat and drowned. He's unfortunately not in the and gutted.
In that case, we're gonna take a quick
Commercial break.
jog up
Triple killed.
to cast one of these.
All right. Yep. He stabilizes.
And then we're just gonna, if we can, move behind, but adjacent to Jahnni.
You can get behind Jahnni, yeah. This thing's reach is only 5. It can't
Okay.
reach out.
I'm effectively wanting to stay in shield range, aka touch.
Yeah, you can stay near enough to Jahnni without being targeted by the troll, without it moving.
Alright, and that's the end of my turn.
All right. Give a.
All right, gun. Gun.
Well, not a hit, but it is a glance.
Oh yeah, I can fire twice now, huh?
The gun looks at you and goes, no.
You can try to fire twice.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. That's my turn.
Freaking hell.
I swear, I fucking rolled nat ones in this campaign than any other one in recent memory.
I know. It's ridiculous how often you freaking roll that ones.
Sure, you can roll to hit the paw as long as you don't roll a 1. Uh-oh. Well,
All right. The sailors are going to continue working together and attempt to flank it with you, Jahnni. Or just each other. So. Ooh. Not quite a crit, but still. Yeah, they have shields, so. The troll takes another nick. He's outside of full heal range.
Fog.
Yes.
Fog.
All right, Ayako.
That is me. Can I reach him this turn?
Yep, you can.
Can I reach him and attack?
Yes, I'm going
Great.
to say that's the case.
Yeah, I'll use a charge of fight and spirit, so my attacks can have advantage.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, advantage.
That's definitely a hit.
Image. Normal hit. We'll use my second attack. That hit? I don't remember.
16 does. Not
Pog.
by very much, but it definitely does connect.
I'll action
back.
surge
All right.
and then
Back.
swing a couple more
Thank
times
you.
at him. And I will do my final attack.
Freaking heck.
Almost a crit. Oh, good thing I had advantage. The first one was a 1. Now I gotta go back up here to roll the damage. Oh, and more max
Angry.
damage.
Yeah, that is very nice. So that definitely gets his attention.
That just isn't great because I don't exactly have any armor.
In my estimation, how angry would Oyeko be if a shield were to appear in front of her?
Very. You would also know that if it's the type of thing she could that needs a willing creature, she would not be willing.
Yep. The elven sailor is going to retreat as he is very injured. That
Bitch.
sailor is dead. The other elven sailor is going to attempt to continue assisting and slice. He is still flanking with his friend.
Oh wow,
Unfortunately,
real
this time he
great
just
flank.
freaking scratches against the thing's scales without issues. Or it doesn't have scales. It's hide. Now the troll gets to go. And
Whoa.
since you just freaking hacked it apart, it is going to attempt to target you down, yelling something in giant. As
I
it's
do not
obviously
speak
speaking.
giant.
Yep.
He hits me on a 12 or higher as of right now. Not sleeping in chainmail has its
Yeah, that. I freaking selected it. I don't know why I didn't go.
I
Whatever.
wonder what he's saying. It's
Yeah.
like some kind of code.
It's impossible to
saying
tell.
he wants to be friends.
That hits. That hits too.
And it's just targeting you with everything.
Yeah,
It
that
doesn't
hits
give a
too.
damn. So, claw 1, normal damage. Claw 2, normal damage. Light.
Well,
It deals
I'm
a
still up,
devastating
but
35.
yeah, I have 20 hit points left, which means I take some bravery, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Just gotta remind myself to give him his regen.
Just,
How low are you, percentage-wise?
2/5
All right,
of
not
my
half.
max health.
You only.
No, I mean I'm below half for sure. I have 20 out of 50.
Yeah, that does
2/5
make more
of my
sense. So let me roll the other one.
Another 2.
Bravery dice continue being nice.
Well, you see, he did 35 to me, but I did 52 to him. So like, who's really winning the damage rate?
All right. And finally, to the end of the order was Jahnni.
pass.
What did you guys hear? What was that coming through his mic? Did you hear that?
I do.
Lumpy,
Yeah.
it's your turn, bro. What are you watching?
Oh boy, Theo would love this. Holy shit! All right.
No, it's one of those friggin' auto-tune memes, isn't it? It is. It is. I know it is. I know it is. It's Kurt sent me.
Where should I put it?
Just it's your fucking turn, mate. Oh god.
How do we stop this thing from regenning? I don't think Johnny knows.
I
mean,
literally
you've been
said it.
told.
I don't
The
think
first
Johnny's
fucking round, I went, you need to hit with cold and fire.
at the same time.
Yes.
Well, I don't have either of those.
You do
I mean, we have
a psychic
torches.
blade, though.
I will hit it with that. Is it the same roll as a normal sword?
Yep.
Yes.
Then I'm just gonna roll a normal sword, but it'll be for the psychic blade.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's what 2d8 plus strength.
Yep.
I don't fully
Dexterity.
understand how that works, but okay.
Yeah, I mean that's why I asked, because it just seemed weird that it does like.
My mind blade cares about my muscles. Why? Because they do.
Does that hit, by the way?
15. Yeah, just barely connects with it.
All right. I'm gonna be action surgeon because I have a cool weapon.
Yeah.
So
this
is you
first-
flanking?
Yes, you are flanking, so you would also get that.
shit. I'm gonna add,
It's 2d8 plus 4 psychic,
and then I'm gonna
That's
action surge
resistance.
and attack again.
not resistant to psychic.
But
That
you
is
have 2
another
attacks
action.
per action, bro. You're level 5, aren't you?
I'm level 5.
Yes, you're all level 5.
How long have I been level 5?
2 sessions.
Yeah.
Oh
the
my
first combat
fucking
you guys are
god!
actually, like, using it in. So swing twice more. And roll the damage for that.
All right, I'm.
That's just melted his fucking brain.
Chess.
All right, another hit.
Chess.
Oh god.
4 hits. Go ahead and roll damage 3 more times.
Or roll 68.
Yeah, 68 also works. This thing isn't resistant.
What's
12.
12,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh god.
Oh, great. So,
And its
Ow.
attention has changed again.
yep.
I'm probably not wearing my armor.
All right.
Why are you wearing your armor?
You're
No,
on
I'm-
duty.
I said I'm not. Why would I be wearing fucking splint mail while I'm hoisting the mainsail or whatever?
I guess.
Because these guys are wearing armor.
No, Yeko would be, but she was asleep during the day, so.
I mean, the sailors wear their leather.
Mo is gonna quickly boop up and try and attempt to contribute to this.
All right. It is very, very injured, by the way.
Ideally, if I can get into a flanking position, I would like to do that.
You have the movement to get yourself into a flanking position. Yeah.
Okay.
This thing is a large creature. You guys can get flanks on it. 16 is a connection. And the dagger also connects.
With the rapier.
All right. And you don't have. Yeah, you're. Thank you. I didn't have to do the calculation.
And then that's actually 4.
Okay. So in total, 12. Okay. And that is enough to at least put it down.
Now we just have to assign a guard to continuously shiv it for the rest of the voyage.
No. What the sailors do, unless one of you basically says something to stop them, is pick the big thing up and push it overboard.
I want to help them push it overboard.
Yep.
I
They
don't
are
get the
stronger
fuck
than
off
you,
the
just
boat.
as a note. But yeah, between your group, if you wish, you could just push the thing's bulk overboard. It's big, but it's not that big. So yeah, the troll is vanquished, and you push it overboard for it to regenerate back in the water at some point.
Yeah. And hunt
That
us
won't be our
down
problem,
for
though.
eternity.
Well, yeah, hopefully fucking when eternity comes around, we'll have fucking cold and fire damage ready so we can kick the shit out of it.
I
Yeah.
am still just going to have a regular sword, I think.
Yep.
There are
It
going
doesn't
to be
seem to
enemies.
slow
in
you
this-
down much.
There are going to be enemies in this point where it's like, we're immune to non-magical damage, and I'm just like, fuck.
I guess I'll die. So, yep. But other than that, that week passes uneventfully with just the troll.
I'm going to click the long rest button
Back
so my
to
ship
fishing.
loads. Boop.
Yep.
Rest. I recover 30 hit points. Thank you, fighting spirit. Because that way I didn't have to recover 35. Hey, resource count. Did you know that I actually have 4 resources? No, not 20. Just the 4.
What
No, you
the
got
heck is it doing? I don't get why it keeps doing that.
It just. Oh my
I
god.
just long ago accepted.
And it just breaks.
Yeah,
It just
that-
the worst part is I type in 4 and then I like click like enter and it just goes yep 20. No, I don't have 20.
Trying to remember where the heck is resource count even kept? Yeah. Why does it not save? Save that configuration.
Oh god.
He's probably not going to listen to me because Foundry gets a little miffed sometimes.
I mean, it's not the end of the world. It makes me laugh.
So, you guys continue onward. And don't see anything for the next week or so. And you're told that you're about a couple days at most from your destination.
Mm.
And off on the horizon, you do see the very, very far line, but line of land.
home.
And a couple of more days pass, and you pull into the port of Concord.
Fog.
Alright, now we just have to find someone, or hope they were slower than us.
Nope.
Well, Cook strikes me as the kind of guy that would take the long boat.
Oh.
We're gonna get there and Cook's gonna still be at sea.
We're gonna get there and Cook's gonna be fucking dead at the bottom of the ocean.
That is where we're going to end it, however,
Okay.
All right.
with you got your arrival in the colony.
And the recording there.
I'm gonna end my recording slightly after you end your recording.